Welcome everybody to an introductory video guide for speedrunning Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase for PlayStation 1. Cyber Chase was released for both NTSC and PAL regions. You will notice on the leaderboards we have any% and any% PAL. This is because PAL runs at a greatly reduced speed and we didn't want people to feel excluded because they were born outside of the NTSC regions and don't have the means to import the hardware. For PAL regions, there is a variety of language localizations for the cover art and disc art. These, however, all seem to be the exact same game. Apart from the rate the game runs at, there appears to be zero difference between them. The only difference you'll find is if you move between the regions, your muscle memory will not transfer. For the NTSC release, there is Original Black Label and Greatest Hits. Again, these are the exact same game, so just use what you can get your hands on. The quickest way to play Cyber Chase is on a PlayStation 2 with fast disk speed enabled. For your console, we've determined that you'll want a slim PS2 with model number not below 77K. 77K model PS2s and onwards have the best ANSIM loading speeds, while also having the optimal hardware for gameplay. In a very few spots throughout the game, there can be considerable frame drops due to the activity on screen. With a 77K or newer PS2, your console will have enough power to deal with these and eliminate the slowdown. The main movement you'll be using to your advantage is what we call butt bouncing. Scooby and Shaggy move fastest while in the air and bouncing. Moving over destructibles and dealing with enemies this way also allows you to take a more direct line through the level. Finally, doing a bounce removes the stutter when landing from a single jump. Here's a side-by-side comparison of the beginning of Agent 1. Here you can see the advantage we gain by using bounces. Optimally, you want to extend your bounce combos as far as you can, and also delay your circle presses as much as possible. Unless you are double jumping, you always want to land with a bounce. This is because a double jump doesn't land with a stutter, and you can't bounce after a double jump. That being said, anytime you can make a gap or a jump with a single jump plus bounce, this is faster than a double jump. Next, you should know about preserving momentum. The speed gained from either sliding down the ice slopes on Arctic Circle 1 or from the launch pads in Amusement Park can be preserved by keeping Scooby or Shaggy in the air as long as possible. We have another technique that we call the ninja pie throw thing. We never gave it a name, but essentially it's a method of being able to continue moving forward while throwing a pie and then eliminating the stutter when landing. This is used exactly twice in the run in quick succession, right at the end of Big City 1. To perform this, you jump, throw a pie, and immediately press circle after the pie leaves. There are two vehicle portions of the game, both Shaggy stages. First, let's talk about the skateboard section in Big City. To our knowledge, there is no way to speed this section up. To be optimal here, you want to make sure you don't crash into anything, and then at the end when you're scripted to jump off the skateboard, you can get a bounce. Second is the bobsled level, Arctic Circle 2. To go fast here, you want to remain in the middle of the track. Riding the left and right sides slows you down immensely. Of course, taking hits here from the penguins will slow you down by about a second. If you've done a good job of remaining in the middle, it's possible to be going so fast that you'll run into the back of the penguins. You'll want to watch out and go around the side of them. Pressing X during this section will pull on the brakes and slow you down. Optimally, you really only want to use this about once during the whole level, right at this corner just before the jump. Typically, you're going so fast by this point that you can't make the corner and you go off the edge. At the beginning of each level, there is some dialogue that plays, and we always skip through it as quick as possible by mashing triangle. There are, however, some levels that it's frequent for the game to freeze on if you've mashed too early. These are Ancient Rome 2, Arctic Circle 3, and Egypt 3. Every other level, you can be confident in just spamming triangle, nothing should happen. One last thing I'd like to point out are the overhead sections in Amusement Park. We don't really understand why, but if you jump during this section, Scooby moves faster. That brings us to the end of this video. If I chose not to include something about the run here, then it's because I think you can learn it by watching a run. This video is simply aimed to answer a few questions and explain some things we've heard from new players over the years. For example, all the boss fights, I think you can learn by simply watching. I do have a tutorial for the final fight with Phantom Virus. It's a few years old by this point, but all the information is still relevant and used today. There's a link to that video in the description. Chances are I'll look back on this video and think of more stuff I could have said, but hopefully this gives you a jump start for getting into the game. Alright, see ya.